So I just left seeing Wakanda Forever, and I'm pissed. I am pissed because if Pushing an Agenda was a movie, this would be in the forefront of that. This was Woman King on steroids. If you think that I'm gonna believe 100-pound black woman soaking wet is just an almighty warrior and can just body dudes like it's no tomorrow, come on. Like, instead of Wakanda, it should have been called Where Are the Men? Because they was not there, they were not present, and the ones that was there was weak. But all the women that was in the movie was just brolic, built, strong Hercules. What is this saying to us? Perpetuating the idea of the strong black woman and a subservient black effeminate man. I just think it's disgusting. I'm completely upset by the movie. And man, if this Kyrie Irving didn't teach me anything, it's when you put your life career in the hands of other people that don't look like you, then they can make you do whatever they want you to do. And this movie does not represent what African culture is. It doesn't represent what our culture needs to be. So, nah, I'm good on Wakanda. Where all the men.
Alright, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. On to this like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. Gonna be a quick show through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. I seen that wacky tacky movie, which, it's nothing new. But as I was watching it, sometimes it just, I knew it was going to be garbage, but what movie I'm talking about, Wakanda Forever. And from the first to the second, the first one was overly hyped up, but it was somewhat a positive outlook how Israel can be as a nation, I guess. And that captivated the minds of everyone. And when this particular man's death, Bozeman, when he died, that took a major hole to that industry, right? But the narrative really never changed. So I watched House of the Dragons. That's just House of the Dragons. I saw that. Real good. And one of the main things that I've noticed why he got piloted, got the green light to make that series, is because the undertone vibration, what is being pushed out there. So you have that. Then you had that, and I would never watch that, but the Woman King. So America is nothing but a fairy tale land anyways. This is Disney World. But the narrative is pushed heavily, especially with this film. Women can outsmart men. They're more skilled than men, They got bald-headed black bitches in the front line as the most powerful warriors in the planet Earth. Or some sort of madness, or putting a queen in the high seat, and it's only targeting, made like Jake, all right, except for the House of the Dragons. But that in itself was just, and you see why, if you watch the show, you see why women are not supposed to sit on no high seat, all right. It brings nothing but confusion. But this is the vibration that's being pushed heavily out there. And what it's doing, which we all know, it's really making a distinction that women can do or be whatever that the society tells them, which is the illusion. All right. And a great disservice for a lot of these scallywags, what I call them. All right, because it has these women in this this fairy tale world that they can do anything without any consequences or repercussions. And this is the way the Lord wanted it to be. So when he brings judgment, the Lord's judgment is unprejudiced. There's no bounds of gender, all right, of sex or age or anything of that manner. When judgment comes, it comes for all. Okay? Jeremiah, real quick. Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long would that go about, O that backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And that's the heavy vibration that's being pushed out in the forefront right now. Women are surpassing men on everything. Even in a world of, I mean, not in reality, but politically, your teachers and women, the mothers and so forth. And this vibration that's being pushed even to this very moment is nothing but witchcraft. All right? It's nothing but witchcraft. Even a woman, I gotta find a video. I'll put it in a close production on. And the woman was basically saying, she was complaining about the movie and how 100-pound woman could beat a man, a 200-something pound man. And it even makes matters worse, the people that was fighting in the film, there was some sort of, let's say a different species of people, and yet they still had the gall to make it seem like they could beat them. This is some heavy witchcraft. Feminism is heavy witchcraft. I'm going to repeat that again. Feminism is heavy witchcraft. Feminism is just witchcraft in general. All right? This has gotten this world drunk. Matter of fact, since I'm in Jeremiah, since I said that, Jeremiah 51:7, it says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. All right? The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Let's look up the word mad. It says mad. Halala. Shine, to shine, figuratively God's favor. Wait, is that the right word? Well, I guess, yeah. To flash forth light, to praise, boast, be boastful. All right? To be boastful ones, boasters. To praise, to boast, make boast. Which it fits the narrative. All right? Because they boasting. All these nations are boasting. It's like I was watching the brothers do the video of Benjamin, and how even in the islands they have McDonald's, KFC, and all that other stuff. And here in the States, you have the same thing, but everybody want to go to the places that have island food. This is weird. But everything is magnified that America promotes. So much so, it makes people boastful. They're mad. They're crazy. All right? They're angry. Which is not to, it doesn't say nothing about angry. It says to make a fool of. And that should be the true definition right there. To make into a fool. To act madly like a madman. There you go. These are the true definitions. What is for mad. So they're having people acting mad. All right? Acting like fools. All right? It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hands. It had all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, which are philosophies. All right? One of the main philosophies is democracy. Under the umbrella of democracy, they fit this poison package that's called feminism. Feminism, which we always go through, was made to destroy the household, destroy the family. All right? To have women believe that they don't need a man in their life. that they could do good on their own as long as the government assist them. So they went far saying, oh no, we can educate you. Once you have an education, no man can tell you what to do. So now it went from you could do bad, you could be a single mother, you don't need a man, now you need to get educated. Now to the point where they're showing that women can beat men. And despite if a man is highly strong on a professional fighter or so forth, he's still can't beat a less than 100-pound. I mean, this woman, she looked, the star of the movie, she looks like I'll say 75 pounds, right? I'm not exaggerating. All right, wet. Okay, she played in the best thing I seen her play was in Black Mirror. The last episode, I forgot the name of that episode. It was real good too. Oh, it's called Black Mirror. That episode. That was the first time I ever seen her. And then she got a starting role in this. She's from Trinidad, and that's another thing too. But for her to have the ability to beat somebody that's not even human, all right, it's supposed to be a mutant. That's which is another thing. But that right in that vision in itself shows the madness that America's been pushing. All right, which all like I said is all witchcraft, man. It's all witchcraft. Nahum 3 and 4. It says, because of the multitude of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. And that's what we see. We're seeing nothing but witchcraft. All right, at a all-time high. And why is it all these things are hitting back to back? I don't know about the numbers for the Woman King, but I know House of Dragons was highly anticipated to come out because what they did in Game of Thrones. Even in the way that went down was, at the end of it was just madness. But then they had everybody waiting. Then all of a sudden they bring out the House of Dragons, which is all circling around putting a woman on a pedestal. Then you have a movie because the main actor, he dies, and they circle around from the main to the secondaries, all women. Because this is nothing but witchcraft. Let's look at the word witchcraft. It says sorcery. Witchcraft, all right? So this is all magic, spells, sorceries. So behold, I'm against thee, saith the Lord of hosts. So the Lord's against everything that's being promoted. This wicked vibration that's being pushed. All right. This is an evil vibration that's being pushed, and it's not letting up at all. Hey, even in the political front here in New York City, we have now she's official. The official governor of New York is a woman. She took over because Andrew Cuomo, they wanted to take him out the equation for sexual harassment, which that's another story in itself. But they put a woman purposely in the heart of Babylon, running the state of the heart of Babylon. All these states, California, Philly's supposed to be the capital. Washington, D.C., I believe Washington, D.C. has a woman mayor, but we see the vibration and the witchcraft that's being pushed. Okay? So the Lord is against everything that's going on in this society, man. He always has been. So I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, meaning the Lord is going to expose your wickedness. And who's running it? That's why this whole Kanye situation, all right, is being pushed out there. And a lot of people is angry about that film as well. All right. A lot of people are angry about that because they got what they wanted. They got everybody hooked. Now they want to bring this wokeism into it. So the Lord's allowing the world to see What are your true intentions? Put women on a pedestal, effeminate as men. Put the women in pedestal, saying they're far superior than men. Then show lesbianism in it. That's more empowered. Then you put effeminate men, another thing. Then you put the transformers. So everything else is accepted except for truth. So the Lord is exposing who you are and what your true intentions are. And I will show the nations thy nakedness. So the world is starting to see. This is why the nations were angry and they mad. Because that shit spills all over. Hey, that's why a lot of Marvel movies, I think it was Doctor Strange and Thor Love It, what was it? The last Thor movie. Certain countries would not even play it because they just put a little bit of stuff in there, showing what they try, showing the nations are like, look, enough is enough. This is why the brothers, the elder brother Rapal was asking questions, how he read Revelations, the 17th chapter, I believe, and what does it mean to the brothers and to the island. And they all said the same. Like, it was good at first, in the beginning. At the islands, they had respect for one another, love thy neighbor. And then the television, MTV, BET, and all this other sorcery that came from it has destroyed the minds of the people. All right. So now the people are starting to see it and like, you know what? Enough is enough. Enough is enough. It says that thy nakedness in the kingdoms, thy shame. And the shameful act of this godforsaken place is slavery. All right? It's slavery. And it always will be. That's why it's always in the forefront. No matter how they try to shove it under the rug, it always comes up. It manifests. And I will cast an abominable filth upon thee and make thee vile. That's what the scripture says in Isaiah 19 about the, roughly paraphrasing, the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit. And now we're starting to see this perverseness is on high. To the point it's right in everybody's face. Men with men, women with women, men and women after children, after animals. All this is people transform into the everything. This is all that filth, all right, that vile, that wicked mingled spirit. It says, and I will set thee as a gazing stock. And how would the Lord is going to ultimately send this place as a gazing stock? By those ICBM nuclear missiles. For the judgment. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for being the most wickedest country in the world. Now the world's going to see from you putting women on top and all these other vile acts that you did. The Lord's going to nuke this place. So feminism, which is always at an all-time high, is even pushed even harder. And this is why Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to wipe this place out. Okay? And mainly, he's going to start with his own people. Ezekiel 9:4. I have to bring this out. It says, and the Lord said unto him, to the angel, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abomination that be done in the midst thereof. So what is an abomination? A wicked, filthy act. All right? And that mark is tawah, meaning exemptment from judgment. So those who are crying about this madness is going on, that's paying attention, the Lord has set a mark upon you. So when the judgment comes, the angel of death is not gonna meet you. All right? And this is this gives us hope, because we need mass judgment to take place, and it will. It says, and to the others he said, to the other angels, all right, in my hearing, and it said, let me hear it. Go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids, young women, and children, boys and girls, and women. All right. So great, massive of death is coming. The angels of death is all they on all-time high. Just like Christmas is coming, you got Black Friday. Then after Black Friday, people collect and they buy gifts to give their children. And there's a holiday specials here and there. People going back and forth in the malls, ordering a whole bunch of stuff, and it's the most busiest time. They hire more people, they hire more helpers because this is that season. Well, guess what? There's that type of season in the heavens. Okay? And that season of death is at an all-time high because what? Great judgment is coming. Great judgment is coming because the people have taken the philosophy and believed in the stuff that was been told to them. So the Lord's going to judge them for that. It says, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark. So that don't go to those brothers and a few sisters that have this mark. All right. Mainly the brothers, because the brothers, whoever is under those brothers, that man and his family is going to be taken care of. And for you women that don't have a man, the Lord is going to send you a man. All right. He's going to guide you to one of his men. If you part of the elect. All right. It says, begin at my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient men which were before the house. So it's going to start out in the house of Israel. Because, spoiler alert, Black Panther, the Wakandians, which was to represent Black Americans or blacks, all right. Then the Atlantis, which will represent the Latin tribe, and they was going to war against each other, all right. They was going to war against each other. So what was the main target that these people, this director, the film writers, and so forth was attending to hit? Was to hit you. To have you believe the spell that was being broadcast. These things are no longer a thing of entertainment. They have deeper meanings behind it. And these deeper meanings that behind it is going to lead a lot of people into death because people really believe the things that they see. This is not a thing of you just seeing things for entertainment purposes. Like, oh, this is a good movie. This is the thing that when people subconsciously, which is since the beginning of pictures, subconsciously is telling you in your mind that you have the ability to do these things. So that's the sorcery. And the Lord's going to destroy these people because of the sorcery that's being cast on them. Because they believe that. This is why we said the things what we said. And starting 2023, Illinois, and one of the states in Illinois is Chicago. All right, Illinois is a state. Chicago's one of the major cities in that state. And they already stated for that state that minor crimes as kidnapping and so forth, there's not going to be no law for it. So there's going to be a natural purge that's going to take place. And I heard it even go to Arizona. So it's just a matter of time before all these things, all these little purge type, which the purge was another form of witchcraft. All these things are starting to trickle to all these different states. And all these women king, these Wakanda Forevers, these G.I. Janes, and all these other things is going to have you people really believe that you can be able to fight against somebody far superior than you in all forms of matter. This is, hey man, the Lord is terrible, man. Matter of fact, let me go with one of my favorites. Terrible, man. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Matter of fact, hold on, before I get that. Isaiah 66. And 4, it says, I will also choose their delusion and will bring their fears upon them. So let's do delusion. All right, the Hebrew word is tha Allah wal Wantonness. Well, the word for wantonness, it means undisciplined. Caprice, vexation. Caprice as a fit coming on. That is vexation, concentrating at tyranny, babe, delusion. Look up this word. Let's Google it.
Caprice.
Sudden and unaccountable change of mood or of behavior. Caprice. It says a sudden and uncontrollable change of mood or behavior. So, and we know what wanton means: undisciplined, vexation. So the things that you are believing, is it the right word? Yep. The things that you are believing is going to put you in a position that's going to get you screwed, because they have you really believing in this whole notion, this boss bit, everything this spell has been put on you people, mainly you women, is heavy, and they keep throwing it in your face. This is all to your demise. It says, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before my eyes, and choose that in which I delight not. And how did the Lord call? By sending his prophets. All right, by sending his prophets. And then off of this, 2 Ezra 16. Could be 32. I can't. 33. It says, the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the war shall the bridegrooms be destroyed, and the husbands shall perish of famine. So that what you lean towards as your security blanket after all your delusional state, all right, of your boss, bitch, and strong, independent, you can do everything. You're still going to lean on the man, and the men that you're going to lean on are nowhere to be found, because they're going to be destroyed. All right, you're not going to have nothing to comfort you. That's what the scripture said. Rise up, you women that are at ease. Esau is playing you. He's played you for a long period of time, man. And you just eat up the delusion that he gives you. All right. It says, hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, and not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth. Great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. So things are going to get a lot worse than what it is. All right. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. It says, O my people, hear my word, make ye ready to the battle, which our people are not ready. All right, they still believe their delusional state. You have men out there that's still trying to run game. You got men out there that still think this shit is sweet. You got men out there that believes in the system that's collapsing right before them. And forget about the women. We just make a whole notion about the women. So they're not prepared for the battle. All right, they don't even know they're in the battle. We're at war. We've been at war from the day we was born. It says, and those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth, meaning what? Prepared to move around, because we're going to be running for our lives real soon. Okay, it's about to get nasty, and it's all the sorcery has gotten the people beat. All right, so with that being said, we'll sign real quick to the spirit. Shalom to the elect of the nations. Shalom.